Good morning. This is Lisa Renee with the Lisa Renee Project. And just want to make sure everything is adjusted okay. I've been having problems with my microphone. So actually, I've been working on it for a couple of weeks now, trying to figure it out. And I guess I need to get some professional help. It is 10:01. And I don't expect anyone is going to be on here live today, but that's okay. It will be recorded so that it can be watched in the future. All right. Good morning. Lisa Renee here with the Lisa Renee Project. And this is Saturday Reset. And we're going to get started. All right. Who's had their week plans hijacked by somebody else, something else, or, just interruptions, period? I mean, it can come from anything. Mine comes from a lot of, what is that? That is my phone. I do apologize. I thought I had turned that off. So, hijacking your plans can just really mess with your schedule. And that's what we're here to talk about today, and how to avoid that, how to find some hacks for getting over that. And that's what we're going to do. So, if your schedule looked like mine, basically it looked like a theme park map. You've had one of those when you go to theme parks, and during peak seasons, there's arrows everywhere. There's detours to go here, or there's that little "you are here for the next 5 minutes" before you got to sprint and go to the next ride. Well, I'm here so we can get that all cleaned up. So let's do that. So today, on our Saturday Reset and Real Talk, we're going to have this every Saturday, and I'm going to go live. And today we're going to turn our chaos into a self-renovation masterpiece. No wine glass, no booze required. And here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to identify our top interruptions. We're going to celebrate what actually worked for me and maybe for you. Let's laugh at what backfired, because there was definitely that. And then we're going to brainstorm some fresh hacks. And then I'm going to set reset goals for the next week ahead that you can do to try to clean up your messy calendar or your schedule, or so that you can get shit done, basically. So, first up, interruption. So, here's what mine looks like. My husband, okay, he's home on Mondays and Tuesdays. He doesn't go to work on Mondays and Tuesdays. And suddenly he's a world-class project manager. And maybe he needs me to hold the flashlight at 9 a.m. or whatever time he decides. But he's always got these, very nice, "I need your help for a minute." Well, it's never just a minute, but it's always right now. No matter what I'm doing, it's his work is over mine, and I must comply. So that is something that always breaks my flow and my momentum. And I have found, we're working on it, a way to avoid that. So next is, it's back to my husband again. It's not totally next, but he is home. The days he does work, he is home by 4 p.m. And of course, his help me patrol begins right about then. And so I have to find a way to overcome, when he gets home, how to make it so I can still get stuff done or break so I can attend to him. Um, but yeah, that's one of my majors. I'm sure plenty of you can relate to that. And then I have 2 dogs, Abby and Ollie. Abby is an elder dog. She'll be 14 this year. And she has what they call doggy dementia. So one minute she's snoring, the next she's the original blind deaf crybaby, and she blows up my schedule like clockwork. Every time her internal GPS loses me or Ollie, her crying gets set off, or I'm in I'm sprint mopping the trail of pee. She's incontinent now. Or I'm constantly having to change her doggy diaper. She just like a baby. She doesn't like to be wet, so I have to change that. She still goes outside, but if she naps, it's just all it breaks loose. So that's my issue with Abby, and it's kind of like running around. She's crying, trying to figure out where I am or Ollie is, and it's kind of like that game of Marco Polo. Abby over here, Abby over here. So that is constantly like disrupting my schedule. But, it gives me this emotional guilt that will derail me if I try to ignore her for a couple minutes to finish up what I'm doing. But these are genuine dog duty needs that have to get done. So I found a way to kind of waylay that so I can get shit done. And then the next is I do a side gig of DoorDash. And DoorDash is what they call on demand work. And in my area, I work in a small town mostly. Fridays and Saturday evenings are gold mine shifts plus lunch rush weekdays. However, I can work anytime. And I did so most of the time. But then when there is time to build my own business that I'm starting, instead of chasing the quick cash and the instant, you could work now, I had to find a way to stop interrupting with, oh, I gotta go make some cash. I gotta go out and DoorDash. I gotta go now. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. And it stops my flow, doesn't allow me to get the things done that I need to get done. So I had to find a way to handle that. So, what are some of your top saboteurs of your schedule? What are some things that keep you from getting things done that you need to get done on a daily basis? Uh, Drop me in the comments what it is that keeps you off your schedule. I know everybody's got, different lifestyles and different things going on, but these are some of mine right now. So, next, I wanted to go over what has actually worked. And surprisingly, just putting on a little, like what I call schedule armor, has saved so much like disappointment in myself, my feelings of inability to get anything done. Like I've got too much to do and I can't get it all done. Scheduling. So with the husband, I basically make sure I block husband days. And what does that mean? I treat Monday and Tuesday because those are his main days off as more of deep work days. I do researching, I do writing, I do blogging, I do editing. And amongst all that, I schedule either an early breakfast at my husband and mine's favorite diner, or I schedule a lunch break for us to go out, for example, and have hot wings and salad. I know, kind of not the usual hot wings and all the other junk food, but we're basically low carb. I'm not keto by any means, but I do try to avoid those unwanted carbs. And then Abby. Ollie Ollie wants to go out and run anytime. He is what, 6, 7 years old, so he's still in his teenage years. But he mostly just lays down in here if I'm working. Is he in here? Yeah, he's in here right now. Mostly he'll just come and lay down with me, and he's very good. If I'm up, he's up. If I'm at my desk and I'm working, he's good. He's okay. Abby is something else. So she is more on call these days with her doggy dementia, and that is not her fault. She is just what she is now. She's old. However, in general, I know that she naps for an hour or sometimes even 2 after her breakfast and snacks. Her snack time it's mostly just snack time for Ollie, but Abby's snack time means she's got to take her pills. She has incontinence pills. She, has allergy pills. So there's things that, she has to get in her little body to help her through this part of her life. But also then again in the afternoon, after some, much needed hugs and attention, she will go down for another nap. It's kind of like a toddler. So this keeps her happy, and it keeps me guilt free. The other, as far as my side gig, so I have to make the money, and as long as I keep my ratings high, which is a no brainer for me, for some reason it seems it must be for a lot of people, because if you go into the bigger cities, your rating minimums are a lot higher. But here in my little country town of Manchester, the ratings are set very low. So I have no problem being way up here to keep those ratings high. And those ratings, just briefly, for those of you who don't know, it's how many offers you accept, your acceptance rate, which mine is 100%. I take them all, even if they're crap. Well, not always, but 99% of the time, I take them all. Your cancellation rate, if you don't cancel, like you've already accepted and something comes up, you don't want to do it, or the wait is too long for the food and you cancel, that goes against you. And there's a couple more, of course, how the customer rates you. But mine are always fairly high, so I don't have to worry about that. So I can work anytime I want. If you have fairly low ratings, you can't work, which they call dash now. You can't just work when you want. You have to schedule it out, or you have to work only when I say it goes red, meaning it gets really, really busy, and you can see that on the app by it going red. So anyway, that's just a little overview. But also, having the high ratings, DoorDash allows me to schedule time ahead of time, anytime I want. So seeing it in my app scheduled, if I schedule it in advance, it really helps me to stay on task, knowing, okay, I got to do it then. I'm not just going in there and going, well, maybe I'll go out and DoorDash now and make 25, 50 bucks, and then I'll come home and work on this. No, I have it on a schedule now. So that helps tremendously. These tweaks give me more uninterrupted bursts of work than, say, a triple shot of espresso. I don't know. I love espresso. I don't benefit from all the caffeine because I can't tolerate caffeine. So anyway, I digress. So what flopped spectacularly? Well, let me get my notes here. I have to follow notes or I will go way off track, as I started to do with DoorDash. So what flopped? Having the all-day availability for my husband when he's home. Big mistake. That just doesn't work. He wants me to help just for a minute, and I say yes every single time. What does that mean? I put down everything I'm doing. I jump up and go help him to do whatever he's doing. Can't do that. Also, that all day availability meant I was just jumping up because, oh, it turned red. Remember, I was talking about that's when it's really busy. I'm going to go out and make some quick cash. No, big mistake. Interrupts the flow again. It does not work for trying to get things done. And also, what flopped was I tried a nonstop work marathon, meaning I knew I had all this time. I'm just going to do work, 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 work. Don't take any breaks. Just get stuff done because now I got time. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm just going to work, set bathroom breaks, maybe have a drink. I felt like a zombie. And I even tried working in the evenings. That is not my power rhythm time for working. In the evening, like after dinner, work is not my thing. That is my wind down time. Literally, it used to be my wind down time, but now it's just my time to just relax, do some reading, maybe some research, watch some videos, something that is not taxing on my brain. And that's what I needed in the evening. So I cannot do that. That flopped. I cannot do those marathons or working when it doesn't work for my body. You have to recognize that yourself. So I've got some fresh hacks. This is the fun part. This is the fun part where you get to figure out how you can fix it. How can you can fix it? And some of this you're going to have to be strong. You're going to have to learn to say no. Or, for example, not right now. Sometimes is better. Or not right now. Or say, well, maybe in about 20 minutes that works. I can help you then. Sometimes it's hard to do this. So anyway, what I did was I have what I call a golden hours calendar. I don't know. You can see behind me over here. I have a wall calendar and I put everything on my calendar now. I tried filling out the calendar for a whole month. Big mistake. Because then you start scribbling it. And that's what I was talking about. That map you get when you're at the fun park, the theme park, and it's like so jumbled. Where am I? What am I doing? That's what my calendar looked like because I'm scratching through this, Xing this, or erasing this because that doesn't work, and then switching this for that. And I don't know what I was doing. So no more filling out for a whole month. I fill it out for a week. Today's Saturday. I'll start tonight working on next week. And by tomorrow evening, my next week will be scheduled. And because it's only 1 week, there's less likelihood of crazy changes. So that is huge. I highlight my brain power times. My times for great mental work are between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. And that's when I can get the most work done. I have the most clarity. I think better. And that's just how my body functions. But I always make sure to use a few hours every day where I look to see, is today a good day that I need to go out and make that cash? I have to make money. Let's go make that cash. Well, even though I may, fall into my window of power work time, I take my computer. I can access a hotspot internet with my phone. Sometimes, even though it's a busy time, you may have a few minutes of downtime. Well, instead of just sitting there waiting for the next one, it may be a minute, but it may be 7 minutes. In 7 minutes, I can get a lot done on my computer. So I take it with me. But I also schedule time, like the times when I don't function well for deep work between 5 and 8 p.m., say. Well, I feed my dogs in the evening at 5, so I can go out and make some money between 5:30 and 8:30 because those are not my function times for getting a whole lot of work done. But going out and doing DoorDash, my side gig, is a no-brainer. So that's a prime time that I can schedule on my calendar. But always use your calendar, and I always put everything in Google Calendar on my computer as well, so I have that. I just like the wall calendar because I can take it off, put it down, and start writing on it. but it's also on the back of my door where I can access it and just look at it every day to make sure I'm on task. So I like to have everything everywhere where I can see it. So next is Abby. Abby has her VIP time. I just have to make sure she's taken care of during her main awake periods. She likes to get up bright and early in the morning. I'm not a morning person. So I have to force myself to get up and attend to her so that she is happy. She's an old lady now. You got to tend to the old lady's needs. She has her downtime. I can schedule like clockwork around that right now. That may change as she continues to age, but right now I can schedule around her downtime. So that's very helpful. And of course, the dash maybe list. I check the weather. Prime times to make money are on crazy rainy thunderstorm days. I'm not working in it. I'm not going out there getting my ass soaked to make, 25, 50, 75 bucks. I could make even double that if I did. I'm not that desperate. I'm not going to do it. I know it's there if I need to, but I'm not doing it. So I always check the weather, and that's good for, okay, it's going to be a rainy day. I'm probably not going to DoorDash that day. So I can switch and focus more on my deep work day, my reading, my research, my writing, my blogging, my editing. I can, work around the weather as well. And another thing I like to do, the last thing I like to do is called the brain dump. The brain dump buffer is what you need. So I'm busy working 9 to 2, and I carry that into the rest of the afternoon if I'm home. And my husband is home usually at 4 p.m. every single day. Right around 4, sometimes it's earlier, sometimes it's later. I can see right out to the front gate when he's home. So I can immediately say, he's here, time to put things down. I have 5 minutes max. It's time to brain dump. What does that mean? That means I spend 5 minutes jotting down the next day tasks so I don't lose my train of thought. So whatever I'm working on now, I make sure I write that down that needs to be done first to finish it up tomorrow or continue working on it tomorrow. Exactly where I am, what I was doing. You got to write it down. Things that you have not accomplished yet, make sure you transfer them over so you can continue on them for the next day. So that is my few simple little hacks to get things done. So tell me in the comments, are you going to try one of these hacks? Are you going to have something that you can talk to your husband about? Not right now, dear. I can help you in, say, 30 minutes. Give me 30 minutes or give me 10 minutes instead of just say, all right, I'll be right there. Or maybe it's not a dog for you. Maybe it's grandkids. What are you going to do if the grandkids just show up? What if your daughter calls you on the phone and wants to talk for 30 minutes and bitch about her husband? And you're in the middle of something. Are you just not going to answer the phone? What are you going to do? So tell me in the comments what you're going to do to try to salvage your schedule so that you can get things done that you want to get done. I mean, it's so important that we take care of ourselves in that way. What we say we're going to do for ourselves or for a business if we're building it or for our lives to keep it from being so chaotic. We need to keep to that. So I've got a few hacks for you. All right. So action items for you next week. Block 2 golden hours on your calendar. These are non-negotiable. I don't care what you're scheduling. I don't care if it's because you're going to go to lunch with your friends. I don't care if it's you're going to go get your nails done. I don't care if you're just going to take a nap. Put it on your calendar, and it's non-negotiable. And your husband's urgent call for you to help him clean out the gutters is not an emergency. Just say, I don't have time right now. I'm already got something planned right now. You do what works for you in your relationship, if that's the way it is. But you got to block 2 golden hours. If your daughter calls, I need you to babysit right now, blah, blah, blah. What are you going to do? You need to be able to handle that. Create your own Abby's VIP time or your grandkids if they show up. What are you going to do? Like if it's your grandkids, you need to have something in place that's going to keep them calm and entertained so you could either finish up what you've already been in the middle of, or you can start it and do what you had planned. Also, you must plan for any top must go to work shifts. Some of you are still working outside of the home. Those are non-negotiable, right? Well, perhaps you're not working outside of the home, or maybe you're just doing side gigs like me. Make them, your top priorities. These are must get done things. These are things that I need. I have to make this much money this week. So this is what I'm going to do, and put it on your schedule. And the main thing I'd like you to do is a daily 5-minute brain dump before it's time to make dinner, or before you're, ending your day. It may be 9 o'clock at night. Do a 5-minute brain dump. Say, okay, I'm done for the day. I can't do anything else. Think about, all right, what have I not finished? What do I need to finish tomorrow? What do I need to start tomorrow? Even though you may have things on your calendar that you have to do, make sure that you're reiterating that in your mind and write it down. Put it in front of you so that you can read over it. And then the next morning you read over it, look at your calendar and see how they compare. I think it's very important. So tell me below anything that you're going to tackle for your next week. And I'd like to know how you handle it. I thank you so much for joining me this Saturday Reset and Real Talk. And if you want I got top 10 common schedule saboteurs and their hacks. I have that in the description below, and you can access that for free. So please do that. These are top 10, the most common ones I've found for women over 60 that are struggling to stay on task or stay on schedule. So grab that if you will. It has, the 10 problems along with the 10 hacks and how to handle them, and see if that doesn't help with your life. But don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring that bell so you'll be notified. I am going to be doing these lives every Saturday about 10 a.m. And I'd love for you to join me live. And let's see, what are we going to do next week? I have planned that we're going to declutter our digital lives. No more email avalanches. However, as I am evolving as a non-drinker and having a non-drinker lifestyle, things come up. So if I come across something that I need to address in my own alcohol-free life, I'm going to talk about it here on the Saturday Reset. So that could be a possibility. And if I have a great week and nothing else comes up, we're going to talk about that digital decluttering. So until next time, as always, I love you all. And remember, progress over perfection every single time.